Welcome back everyone to some more Let's Play Mega Man Battle Network 1, because holy crap, there's a lot of these games. I actually want to talk about that for a second, but first we're heading to the government complex, so we're going to be talking to a lot of people. So, I decided, you know what, I want to play the Mega Man Battle Network 2 game simultaneously to this, and it's really cool. I was thinking if I wanted to actually end up Let's Playing that in the future, and fuck that. Because, I don't know if you know this, but fun fact, there are 6, I think more like 7 or 8 different Mega Man Battle Network games, and I played all of them when I was younger, and holy shit, how did I even possibly do that? It is ridiculous. Like, it just blows my mind. Also, the Mega Man anime, or the Mega Man Battle Network anime, because they can't really make an anime off of the platforming games, it is great. You should watch it. Also, I don't know when the change actually happens in the footage, but hey, look, from here on out, my controls have been changed, so now I could actually go like diagonal and stuff. At least, oh wait, no, I can't. Not right here. I mean, it's like, I don't know. You'll see it. It's good though. Like, I'm so glad because I'm not like just screwed in terms of platform, because later on, right when I need it, I have it. There is a lot of very precise walking. You'll see that later. But first, we have to challenge Sal. Sal is a she's a nature-oriented person, and she has Woodman as her Navi. So we could come fight Woodman. He fucked me up a couple times because he is tough. You'll see why in a second here. His main attack is to do that, okay? Fuck that guy, for one thing. Every time he jumps, he spawns 3 random wooden spikes, which hurt a lot. And the issue is that compared to Rockman, for example, this fucker over here, like, it's a lot less choreographed, I think. And he does shit like this where it spams it, so you have to keep moving around. I got lucky there, I didn't have to move. But I think, all in all... Oh, and then this, yeah. He throws on C's, and then they act like as the tower. It's just terrible. But swords are your friend. Boom. Check that shit out. I know, right? It's great. And then I had 2 more swords. Like, I failed this battle a few times. Almost died right there, holy crap, but luckily my healing earlier saved me. Got him. 32 seconds, I think that's an excellent time for Woodman. Not too far in the future, I'm actually going to be getting a bunch of healing upgrades, and eventually the wood armor, which basically halves a lot of the different attacks you'll be taking. There you go, there's a merchant selling armor. Please buy protection of nature protection, whatever. If you go into the cash register, I believe, then you can go out to the net. Through there, there's a dude that sells stuff. He sells armor. We'll be seeing it later on, but I won't have enough money for it for a while. But it is so cool. Also, I think I'm just walking around just because I can. So you want to make sure that after you beat her and you get her access, that's when you can go in and check out her stuff. The access is only really needed so that you can go from the net to here, I think. And then you can go to the net easier. I always get confused. But I thought it was weird that her background doesn't have anything to do with, like, wood at all. Oh, that's right. I think I'm about to get my ass handed to me. Watch this shit. It's gonna be great. These fuckers are essentially the worst. They deal 100 damage with that one attack. Yay! Guess what? There's a fuck ton of these assholes. They look a little cute, but they hurt. It's death too! And, oh, surprise, surprise! Hey look, it's that guy. He shoots rain clouds. That's cool. But what's that in the sky? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Hitler. We died again. Yeah, I just... Fuck those guys. They are the worst. Eventually I was able to skip them by getting a... whatever you call it. A an escape. But we got at Sal there. And time to fuck this guy up. I think I actually murdered this one. Eventually, I was able to time it right and actually not be terrible. I guess the best strategy is to stay in the far back in the very corner and then move right when it gets to you, and then you'll be fine. It shouldn't be as difficult as I made it look, but it was tough. So I would think that's a good item, but I just don't feel like using it. And hey, we got to recover 120, which, surprise, we don't actually have that much health yet, but soon enough we will have a lot more. So I think that wraps it up for the people to talk to out here and what to do. Now we can head into the government complex, which surprisingly has a crazy amount of stuff. So there's the waterworks, which is to one part of it. There's the Scilab, which is another, and then later on we'll see there is even another section, which is the power plant. You can sort of see how this game has a little bit of limitation in terms of their location, because there's only a few locations, but it's not like we're stuck to one place. There's going to be a couple more places we'll be going to, but here in the complex, because there's a bunch of stuff, there's a lot of people to talk to, so you can talk to everybody. I believe there is, you can, oh yeah, he's talking about the wood armor he bought on the net. And the power of nature reduces damage to half. Fortunately, it doesn't work against fire. Use the natural defenses to reduce damage, but they have weak spots, so be sure to change armor. Later on, I'm sure we'll get plenty of different armor, but here, we can actually jack it into the TV, which is very good. You always want to do that. You always want to check everything, because eventually, there's going to be something. You'll jack in, you'll find an awesome item, and you'll be like, yes, it's perfect. And I edited out 6 fucking saves, and I've already missed 2. You can see how many times I, it's almost becoming like a little bit of OCD of like, oh, gotta save, new room, gotta save, beat the enemy, gotta save. It's ridiculous. Got another escape, I'll be adding that. It's awesome. For the most part, in these small little self-contained things, like the TV, and then soon you'll see a vending machine, there's only ever one item, so you mainly could just look for that one item and then you can get out. You can fight enemies too, but for the most part you're not going to want to bother. At least I don't want to bother. You can all you want. You can grind for 1,000 years and you can have all the zenny that your little heart desires. But I don't give a shit about that. I'm just focusing on getting the unique stuff, and then hopefully I'll get all the zenny and items I want just through random playing, because there's a lot of random battles. So we got the Spreader J from the vending machine, and these guys I think are new to us. These guys are actually sort of fun because they make for a little bit of fun here. So I don't think they're new, but they might be. They just bounce around balls. So yeah, if you run into them, it's an explosion. So try not to do that. But if you time it right, you can just jump backwards and forwards, and dodge them completely. But you could also do that and just ignore it completely and ruin them. So that's called the heater. I don't know if there's a cooler, which is the water, but I know there's a water version. But yeah, so there's that, and I think past that there's really nothing else to do other than, oh yeah, they're like, water is my life. I was like a little confused. Here we are. This is the Scilab, as you can see by the sign on the Scilab. So okay, this is very important. Sometimes when you send chip data, they'll morph. So 3 code ordered become a cannon chips, or 3 ordered cannon become a Zeta cannon. This also happened with several chips. It's a very confusing thing I actually haven't gone into, but just lay out the basics, which you'll see eventually in the future. I think, I'm not sure. I'll try to show it a good deal. Think of it like this. With cannon, you could have high, or normal, high, or medium, or whatever. It's like the 40, the 80, and the 120 cannons, right? It's green, blue, orange. At least I think that's the color combination. Anyways, if you have 3 cannons available, you put into your chips Cannon A, Cannon B, Cannon C, See, right there I had B and B. If you put in A, B, and C, for example, that'll make, I believe it's called Zeta Cannon, where you get to use that cannon as many times as you want in 5 seconds. So that means if you're quick about it, you can get 6 or so shots off, maybe. I mean, probably not. More like 3 or 4. But it'll be 3 or 4 of that cannon. So if you do it with normal, it's 40 and 40 and 40 and 40. That's awesome. But do it with the bigger ones, 120, 120, you can just mow down an enemy. Especially a big boss that sits still, like Rockman or many others. So it is a really great idea to be able to do morphing combinations. There's things like life swords, like a bunch of random awesome stuff, but it's going to be a while until I could show off a lot of it because it requires a lot of different types of stuff. Like, you're going to need a lot of different sorry, I saw me miss all 3 shots there. That was horrible. At least I didn't get hit by the water, but after that I'm just gonna run because I was stupid. But morphing is very important, and it's a key component to making an awesome chip folder. 5,000 enemies, by the way, and this we just stole money from the vending machine that was broken. I love it. We accept inventions, but not from small children. That dude's an asshole. And she's like, pay your pet bills here, but children don't pay. It's like, you guys are being really rude to me right now. I will say that there's a few things that are broken about this game. Like, for one thing, the fact that you always heal all your health between fights means that there's not a lot of risk when it comes to just the normal fight. And then also, in your chip folder, you're able to have as many, or no, not as many. You're able to have, I think, 30 chips of any kind. So you could technically have wide sword, wide sword, wide sword, wide sword, wide sword, wide sword. Just all the wide swords. And steals, maybe, you wanted. It's up to you. So that's the issue, because that means you can make the most OP bullshit ever. Honestly. You can have an entire fucking chip folder, all of, like, just, I don't know, 10 high A cannons, 10, like, high B cannons or whatever, and then C cannons, and then you could just mow through shit. It's a little silly when you think about it. In the second game, it remedied both these issues of, firstly, your health doesn't actually, like, come all the way back. It doesn't refill between battles, meaning you have to buy things called sub-chips, which are basically like healing items in between battles, which makes for a bit of strategy, and I think it actually improves the gameplay, and it makes random battles more important, which is why I have a little bit of issue with this game, because random battles are so fucking... they're just rampant. It's okay, I love the game, it's just there's always issues. But, and then the other one is that your chip folder has a certain capacity. So it's like, if you think about it, like they're actual like programs, like a cannon, for example, in the second game is 16 megabytes. And so it's like in a 30 chip set, you can have 16, 16, 16, 16, 8, 8, 2, 4, whatever, as long as it goes beneath the limit. And you can, of course, upgrade that, so that means that you can't have all the OP bullshit just by having the chips and setting them in the set. You're actually able to strategize, and you actually have to think about risk-reward. Like, alright, I really want Number Man, for example, but he's such a high, I don't know, he's such a high, like, capacity that I can't store him along with Roll and Gutsman. So you have to think, alright, who do I want? Is it worth having these guys in there? And all in all, I think it also makes the building your folder more important and diverse. But there's still a lot of cool stuff you can do with this one. It's just you're not really limited, so that means there's not as much difficulty to it. Also, the adding feature is different, so that you actually have to sacrifice chips, and then you get those refilled and then like more. So if you sacrifice 2 chips, I think you get 2 refilled and then 2 new. So you get a total of 7 instead of 5. I don't know how I like that, but I think that adds more strategy, so I don't know. It's really cool. I think you should definitely check out the games yourself. Like, you should play through this game on your own just for fun, because it's awesome. Also play on the new ones, or New ones. The other ones. It's up to you, but it's something I definitely recommend because games are awesome. And if you're not really one for handhelds, there is a GameCube game if you could get a hold of it, which I think is a pretty good representation of this game just on the GameCube, with all that entails. But yeah, so in this episode, there honestly wasn't that much to talk about, so I thought I would just get some stuff I felt like chatting about. It's still related to the series. And now let's end it with a terrible fucking death. Fuck these guys. These guys are Hitler. Seriously, look at this shit. They all have 200. There's 3 of them. And bombs. I killed one. Dead. Holy shit. Wow. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.